When it comes to the artifacts of Uncle Harley, one thing to keep in mind is when he died, just before he died, he said he didn't want to leave anything to anyone. He didn't want things to fall into his estate for taxes. He also said there was no point in being the richest man in the cemetery. He can't do no business from there. So he made a point to donate just about every penny that he could and everything that he owned. When he died, he did not have a will, and his wishes to Claudia was that things would be auctioned off for charity. But the daughters of the colonel, Margaret and Mildred, had sued Claudia for a child's portion of the estate. So a child's portion went to each Mildred and Margaret, and the rest went to Claudia. And her family got what they got, and Margaret and Mildred got what they got. Uncle Harley did want his home on LaGrange Road to go to Dick Miller, his driver. But whatever wasn't kept was sold at auction for charities, which is how Uncle Harley would have wanted it. So a lot of things ended up in the possession of museums and private collectors. Now, I don't know if any members of my family has ever sold anything of Uncle Harley's, and I really doubt it. But he did give a lot of things to friends of his, including Dick Miller, and including other franchisee friends of his. And quite a bit of things had ended up on eBay and different auction houses. And these impersonators made a point to go and buy those things. So they have it fair and square. What wasn't kept in the family was auctioned off, and whoever bought those had the right to do with whatever they wanted. The things that were bought by museums, to be put in museums, have remained in museums and will always remain there. I personally believe that all the stuff belongs in the museums. When it comes to the driver, Dick Miller, who was a very good friend of Uncle Harley's too, and my family loved him to death, he had a few things of Uncle Harley's. And Johnny Miller, one of the impersonators that my family doesn't approve of, before I or anyone else in my family spoke out against them, before we said anything about being related, Miller went to Miller. They're not related, the same last name. But he went there and convinced Dick to give Johnny items that belonged to Uncle Harley. He told him that just before Dick died, by the way, because he's dead now. He told him that he would preserve it, and he was the guy to preserve the Colonel's legacy. And he was able to persuade him to give them to him. Dick had also made the comment that the moment that he died, he knew that all this stuff wouldn't be appreciated by his kids and would be auctioned on eBay. What the family has is photos and some things of his, and that's just fine. When it comes to these impersonators that surround their home in things that belong to my uncle and brag about it and hold it over the family's heads, and try to use it to self-boast themselves and try to get in connection with the brand, I say that taints that stuff and we don't want it. Even if it's one of my uncle's suits, if the impersonators have it, they can keep it. It means nothing now. When it comes to the family and the museums, that's something different.